Good evening, this is Chamod Fernando bringing you the news roundup.
The top story on Gold FM.
The Iranian vessel Iris Bushehr is currently being escorted to the Trincomalee port after being located 12 nautical miles off the coast of Panadura. A total of 208 people occupy the ship, including senior mariners, cadets and officers. Following a high-stakes coordination between the ship's captain, embassy officials and the Sri Lankan Navy, security forces moved 204 of the crew to the Valisara naval base under heavy guard. This vessel originally sought entry to Sri Lankan waters earlier this week, coinciding with a period of extreme military escalation between Iran, Israel and the United States. Earlier tragedy struck near Galle as an American submarine destroyed the Iranian vessel Iris Dana with a torpedo hit 90 nautical miles into international waters. This attack resulted in the deaths of 84 Iranian personnel. Rescue operations led by the Sri Lankan Navy successfully pulled 32 survivors from the ocean, who now receive medical care at Galle National Hospital. Local Galle magistrate and forensic officials conclude initial investigations into the fatalities with medical certifications pending court orders. The Indian Navy confirms it deployed long-range maritime patrol aircraft to assist in the search and rescue efforts following a distress call from the sinking ship. Iranian media reported that Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi held separate phone calls with Sri Lankan and Indian counterparts. He thanked Sri Lanka for rescuing Dana's crew and stressed the importance of protecting Iranian vessels and personnel.
This is the local news on Gold FM.
The Parliament voted by a majority of 100 to extend the national state of emergency, claiming that the escalating war in the Middle East threatens domestic stability. Deputy Minister of Defence Major General Aruna Jayasekara informed the Parliament that the coming weeks remain critical for the island nation. He warns that essential services face significant delays due to severe restrictions on international shipping and aviation corridors across the conflict zone. Energy Minister Kumara Jayakodi issued an extraordinary Gazette notification to establish 6 successor companies for the functions and duties of the Ceylon Electricity Board. The directive, effective from the 9th of March, mandates the creation of these entities to oversee power generation, transmission, distribution and system operations. Under the Sri Lanka Electricity Act No. 36 of 2024, the majority of provisions come into force on that date, officially initiating the restructuring process of the state utility. Central Bank Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe is of the view that South Asian integration can best be achieved via renewable energy connectivity. He said this while addressing a roundtable of the Asia in 2050 conference today. During the event, which was also attended by the IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva, the central bank chief noted that South Asia, which is considered one of the most protected regions in the world, can use its solar power potential to attract investments into the region.
When you look at the capacity of South Asia in terms of renewable energy, given these all challenges, Nepal, Bhutan capacity potential several decades has not been utilized. I mean, that is the easy one. Why that is not happening is kind of internal kind of regulations, restrictions, and fear of opening up for this for investment abroad coming into these areas, and then having this investment open and use this potential in those areas. Even in you come to Sri Lanka, we have a huge wind power, solar power potential. Why can't we have this investment open up and then have a grid connectivity to India, to the region? So these are the regional integration easily beneficial, and that can lift the region up. Another area is the digitalization. India has done a great strides in recent past. This is other easy area that we can have more integration in terms of digital connectivity, payment settlement with India, with advanced technologies in terms of digitalization and our other part of the bloc, and also connecting with Singapore, Malaysia.
Now for some news in brief.
Sri Lanka's official reserve assets crossed the $7 billion mark for the first time since August 2020 in February 2026, growing by 6.6% to $7.284 billion in February from $6.832 billion in January.
The business news on Gold FM.
The all-share price index of the Colombo Stock Exchange declined 131.62 points to close at 22,701.91 points. The S&P SL20 index also declined 65.05 points to close at 6,360.75 points. Total market turnover was 5 billion rupees.
International news on Gold FM.
US President Donald Trump said today that there would be no deal struck with Iran except unconditional surrender, a week after launching war with Israel against Tehran. Trump in a social media post said, quote, "After that and the selection of a great and acceptable leaders, we and many of our wonderful and very brave allies and partners will work tirelessly to bring Iran back from the brink of destruction," unquote. The Middle East enters a period of unprecedented instability as a conflict between the United States, Israel and Iran expands into a regional war. Qatar now halts all exports of liquefied natural gas following sustained strikes on Gulf energy infrastructure. This decision removes 20% of the global supply from the market, with Qatar officials warning that a recovery of these shipments could take months. Meanwhile, the Israel Defense Minister reveals that the assassination of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was a goal set by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as early as November last year. In the meantime, foreign media reported that Russian agencies provide direct support to Tehran. These reports indicate that Moscow supplies Iran with precise targeting data to strike American warships and military assets across the Persian Gulf. In response to the widening violence, Azerbaijan began the urgent evacuation of its diplomats and citizens from Tehran and Tabriz. This follows drone strikes on Azerbaijani territory, which Baku attributes to Iranian forces.
Entertainment news on Gold FM.
Comcast-owned Sky has released the first teaser trailer for its British remake of NBC's iconic sketch show Saturday Night Live, with the 6-episode first series set to premiere on the 21st of March. The 30-second clip shows the cast parading down a London street into a venue emblazoned with a neon Saturday Night Live UK sign.
Sports news on Gold FM.
St. Sebastian's College were bowled out for 214 in their first innings of day one of the 76th Battle of the Goals against Prince of Wales College at Tyrone Fernandez Stadium, with Chamath Velalage top scoring with 58. Rosendo Silva claimed 3 for 39 and Nethul Anuhas 3 for 48 for Prince of Wales, who closed the day on 6 runs for the loss of no wickets in their first innings reply. Tomorrow is the second day of the encounter.